But I think that
Yeah,
should be.
sounds
I like
good.
the 15-minute drill. I like where we combine forces. You know.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Um, so yeah, it seems like a lot of people. I posted a comment in Twitch, and people seem to be enjoying this. This is definitely against the grain of people just kind of playing chess and bantering. You know, this is a
Gotcha.
super interactive show. And on that note,
Oh, people are asking my elo. So my elo, I think right now is like 1640 USCF, but the goal is to hopefully kind of pump it up to I don't know what a good goal is for like this time next year, but
we have a goal of 2,000. We want to get you to an expert.
wait, by this time next year?
Why not?
Okay, I'm down.
I mean,
I mean, my like real goal is like 2200. I'm down with 2000 this time next year.
well, your ultimate goal is 2,200, right?
Yeah,
I mean, but I
it's gonna
think
take some time.
I think there's going to be a tipping point anyway because you're really investing your full time. People asking who exactly you are, I will say yes. John Urschel is a retired NFL player, current mathematician pursuing his PhD in advanced mathematical theory from MIT. So, John, are you? I mean, you're a decently smart guy, right? We know that math is kind of easy, but
I mean, I'm so here's the thing. I'm good at math, but like good at math doesn't imply good at chess. And
right,
chess takes like a lot of work for me, whereas math doesn't take that much work
right.
comparatively.
Can you give us like a Matt Damon, like when Beethoven saw it, he could just play. When it come to this stuff, I could just play, right? Like, what does he say there? He goes, or we could get together and eat a bunch of caramels. It would be just as arbitrary. How you like them apples? All right. No, I feel like you're my Goodwill Hunting. All right, here we go. We're gonna post the next
Oh
position
yeah.
that I prepared specifically for Mr. Urschel for the show. Here it comes. This is now position 1 of our second round of the 15-minute drill.
Wait, what puzzle
Puzzle
is it?
number 4
Okay.
is starting. You can go there. I'm going to paste the position, and you get to start thinking.
I'm there, but I don't see it.
You just gave me an invalid fen. Let me make sure I'm posting the right fen. Hold on. Oh,
Okay.
yep. I copied it wrong. My fault. Here we go. Pasting a fen in 3, 2, 1. It is white to play. John
All
Urschel,
right.
your 15-minute drill starts now.
All right. I'm down a pawn. Um, but what do I have going for me? What's going on with that king? That king is looking a little restricted. What's going on just after rook c8? Rook c8, king e7, rook rook e8, king d6. Uh, hold on, there's something going on with this king, and I'm getting to the bottom of it. Let's see. Yeah, there's something going on here. It's just a matter of figuring it out. Rook c8, king e7. Okay, not immediately seeing anything. Hmm. Is there some knockout I'm missing? Rook c8, king e7. I somehow want to cover this d6 square. Rook e8, king d6. And now... And here I go wasting time again.
It's all right. I mean, you've crossed the line. You're invested in this position here on a, you're pot committed, if we want to use the poker term, right? You're in deep. So
I am, but I've only really looked at one move.
Well, you have to.
You've
been on the right track with the ideas, but it's about executing accurately. This position will have some good takeaways for you.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, he's writing notes. This is dangerous. Okay. Well, okay, hold on. Do I have anything with this? No, there's no benefit of, hitting the bishop, really. Maybe I just gotta, I don't know, learn some patience, because if I could get the rook to e8 without giving a check, that would be nice. So, what about rook c1? Where does the bishop go? Bishop can only go to d3 or a6. Then I go rook e1. And now how do they defend that? Well, all right, I'm already low on time, so this looks like a knockout to me. All right, I played it.
You played it. The timer has been paused, and you got it right, boy. Come on, let's dance. All right, you did it. You did it. Okay. Take a breath of fresh air. I know you were nervous on that. Come on, you were nervous.
No, but as soon as I saw rook c1, I knew that was the answer.
Okay. This was a legitimately tricky position in the sense that, okay, one, I like this position a lot because it's instructive to me in how people get better at chess, not just the specific position. What I mean by that is this. Let's say I had the position like this to start with white to move. What's the answer?
Well, then you can just play rook c8.
And you're mating. And what kind of mate is that?
I don't. Should I know what that's called?
I'm pretty sure it's Anastasia's mate.
Anastasia's. Why is it called that?
I think it's just the name of the mate. Maybe it's the Arabian Mate. Somebody will quote it. There's two different types of rook and knight mate. Okay. The rook and knight mate where the knight is on e7, taking away squares of the king, and you're mating them on the h file. Right? You've seen that one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe that's Anastasia's, and then this one where the knight protects the rook is the Arabian Mate.
And so, is it called that because of a famous game of someone named Anastasia, or some Arabian dude did the other one, or
the Russian princess? I don't know. A lot of mates earned their nicknames, because of there's Boden's mate, which is also the the crisscross mate of two bishops. I always called the Boden's mate crisscross mate, double bishops, but that's actually called Boden's mate. Then there's there's Damiano's mate, which I bet most people don't know the name. So the most important thing about checkmates is not the name, contrary to popular belief, right? But actually your ability to recognize the pattern. So it looks like we've actually just got some confirmation. So I was right when I said that Anastasia's mate is the one actually with the knight on e7 and the rook mating on the edge of the board. Yeah. And this is the Arabian Mate. Okay, so this is anyway. Okay. So we got that answer. Not that it matters, but okay. Semantics.
No, but it matters. It's nice. It's nice to know. I like knowing things to know.
Yeah. So in one of the things that happens in a chess player's career is like, you learn all these basic checkmate patterns, and I have a whole video series that is literally called like basic checkmates you must know, right? And it was and I think Simon Williams is actually working on a new video series for us that is going to be very similar, except maybe even more for beginners. Mine probably targets levels of about 1,200 to like expert, whereas his is going to be the same basic mates but even lower, and I'm excited about what Simon's working on.
Cool.
So, but the thing is this, like once you learn the Arabian Mate, how often are you actually in a position where it occurs? Like, it doesn't happen that often, right? However, the thing about learning mating patterns is even if the position,
like the thread of it.
Exactly. The potential of the pattern is really what makes you strong. So whether you actually ever get an Arabian Mate in your game is irrelevant to the fact that if a possibility for an Arabian Mate exists and you find it, then you're going to be winning chess games.
Yeah.
So what makes this position tricky is we can't just play rook to c8 check and then mate with the Arabian Mate because of the move king to e7.
Yeah, and he gets out.
And he gets out,
nothing
right?
really after that.
So everything you started thinking about after that was basically based on the fact that this move doesn't work because he gets out. So you were trying to figure out what to do, right? You were, everything in your thought process for one way or another was really all about that key thing. You saw the mating pattern, but it didn't work. It took you a long time to find rook c1.
Actually, so in my thought process, which I didn't really say, and this is kind of one of the problems that I think I had in this thought process.
Okay.
Is the first two things I saw, well, the first three things I saw was, one, this king looks close to being mated.
Right.
Two, the rook looks awkward. Like the rook doesn't have as many squares as like a normal rook should. And three, the bishop looks awkward and almost trapped. So like I saw these things, and the first two things I looked at was like, how do I trap the bishop? How do I trap the rook? And then I saw, well, I can't. So then I moved on to trying to mate the king, as opposed to like trying to intertwine them. And that took me a while.
Very good. You did a pretty good job self-reflecting there. I mean, so that was very much what I was going to imply, is that the lesson of this one, and this is a good lesson for everybody out there, like why should you invest your time? Learn basic checkmates. Get books that just have basic checkmates. I've got a million on the wall here, right? I mean, like there's...
Here, pull one out and recommend it for them.
I mean,
let the people see what they need to be working on.
Well, there's so many. Hold on, I gotta get over here. Now you're killing me, John, making me do this right now. There's Winning Chess.
See, I'm putting them to work a little bit.
Winning Chess Tactics by Sarah Wan. Where's my favorite? I wanted to get like a basic mate one. Hold on, but I wonder if I don't actually have the one I want here. I want, you know what I really want is How to Beat Your Dad at Chess.
How to Beat Your Dad at Chess.
Everyone Google that right now. How to Beat Your Dad at Chess. And
I've never heard of. Okay, I'm Googling it right now.
And if I don't have it here, you know what? It's because I took it home and gave it to my kids as a joke. Oh, here we go. This is another good pattern one. Hold on. How to Beat Your Dad at Chess. I bet you already have it up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, order it right now if you can.
Oh, yeah, they have like 50 different things, like the Greek gift. Yeah, Anastasia's Mate is the -- thing, and Arabian is number 3.
Hold on, where's the Chess Tactics for Juniors? Oh, it's up there, but I have a short mic cord. Hold on, I'm going radio silent here for a second, people.
All right. Wait, are you actually saying I should get this book? He's silent. He left me. Danny, I think we have an echo. All right, I'll be quiet.
Hold on, I'm back. It's your fault.
You
challenged me. Okay, hold on. Yes, you should actually get that book. That's a phenomenal book. But, okay, so as far as books that break down tactics by patterns, right? We have Winning Chess Tactics for Juniors. Very simple, but broken down by patterns. And you want to memorize. This is more patterns, not mating nets, right? This is like you've got pin, skewer, fork, double attack, discovery, battery, whatever.
Hold on, let me see a page in there. See what's going on.
Why are you doing that?
I'm sorry, I'm making it hard on you. So do you have a hard like exit time of 7, or can we go over?
No, we're fine. No, we're doing a 90-minute show today at least.
Oh, really? Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
7 Eastern on that. Yeah.
So double attack, and then it's just a ton of puzzles of double attacks.
Nice.
Okay. Remember, these days there's also websites like chess.com, Tactics Trainer, but okay. Then we have as far as themes here, then we've got 1001 Brilliant Checkmates by Reinfeld. This is a famous one. This is literally an old copy that was signed to me by a grandmaster, so this is like completely fallen apart. 1001 Brilliant Ways to Checkmate. Yasser Seirawan's Winning Chess Tactics is a little different because it's a lot more explanation within the pattern or theme. How to Beat Your Dad at Chess, as funny as that title sounds, and you're like, okay, Danny, whatever, is one of the best books. I gave that book a lot of credit when I did my video series on all the basic patterns one must know. Yeah. Because a good amount of puzzles that I used and added my own theme to teach them were organized in that book. Now, you know, it wasn't copyright or anything. All he's doing is taking puzzles from famous games and gathering them, right? But I did give that book a lot of credit just because his organization of it I thought was good, and it helped me to prepare my own teaching methods. So that's a great book.
For the fans, well, fans and myself, well, I'm a fan. What rating range would you recommend that for?
It's
How to Beat Your Dad at Chess.
It starts out at, like, I would say like 800-900 and goes up to 1800-1900.
Gotcha.
Very wide range. And again, one of the things about checkmate patterns is, like, even if somehow you're one of these guys who got to 1700 and never really did your due diligence of knowing these mating patterns, it's still good for you to do it. Let's say somehow you got to 2000 without really knowing your mating patterns, right? You should still do it. Because, again, what this game teaches you is the lesson is not just, are you like, okay, it's not to show off and say, I know all the checkmates, Arabian and Anastasia and Damianos, and I know all the, like, who cares if you know all the names of checkmates, right? Your ability to recognize the potential for a mating net is often much more important than whether the mating net ever appears in a game you play.
Yeah,
so
true.
So what you said was true. So, like, you recognize the awkwardness of the pieces, and you recognize the potential for the mating net, but putting them together was the next step, right? And rook to c1 is a brilliant move because you're actually able to get to the e-file with tempo, right? And that prevents the king from getting out of the mating net. So his only move is actually bishop e2, I think. I think that's probably, and then you can check and win the piece with tempo, right?
Right.
Because both bishop a6 and bishop d3 I think are actually even worse because now he's actually getting mated. Yeah. I guess bishop d3 theoretically he can also sack the piece, but I
mean, I think they can just sack the piece to start, right, and just move the rook.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, regardless, they're losing that bishop.
But again, the whole key is that they're only losing the piece because of the threat of the Arabian Mate.
Yeah.
So that's where mating nets become really practical and useful in our own chess careers, and we're able to recognize that. And again, you will notice that the general positions I picked for you this time, I've only given you like really one end game, right? I mean, most of the positions I've given you are based on mating nets, pushing yourself to calculate concretely, looking through the mess of like queen sacrifices, right? Yeah. But really pushing you to kind of extend your limits and realize, you know, there are principles in how you should calculate positions. Not trying to make the position work for what you're comfortable calculating, but actually calculating the position because there's multiple pieces hanging. What's the principle we learned about that? You got to force yourself to consider all kinds of captures. Mating net positions. What's the principle we learned? That John was being too slow to consider the most forceful sacrifices. You should have, you know. So again, you've done well overall. You're 3 out of 4 in the positions I've given you, but your time management, trusting yourself and pushing yourself in some of the weaknesses I'm pointing out about your thought process is going to help you do better in this 15-minute drill.
So move faster. I mean, I think I'm finding the right moves most of the time given time, but I got to do it quicker.
Yes, and also, but think about the feedback I've given you about your thought process. Here's a good flow. And I wrote this down. So once you recognize the essence of the position, I wrote down, once you recognize your essence or key idea, sometimes...
My essence. Yeah.
You know, it's important. You have essence.
Yeah,
you have an aura, and no, I'm kidding. You have essence, and I can see your aura. By the way, it looks phenomenal today. It's like blue and gold, and like I don't even know what's going on that, but you must be okay. So no, you have the essence of every position generally speaks to someone quickly. Okay, like in the essence of the let's back up. In the essence of the drawn rook and pawn ending, you knew pretty quickly white wasn't going to be winning this, and if not right away, you kind of started calculating this was a rook ending. Like the moves were, you weren't considering a mating net. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like puzzle 2, the essence of the position very quickly was that there was going to be a ton of tactics and captures to calculate. The essence of the first one we did was that you had the potential for a checkmate attack because you had a lot of good pieces in prime real estate.
Mm-hmm.
What was the lessons of the essence of a position where you think you might have mating nets? You need to consider sacrifices and forceful moves faster than you're generally comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
What was the essence of this? I mean, what was the lesson of what you recognized about puzzle 2? The essence of it was if you're in a position where there's multiple pieces hanging and you're not quickly considering every possible capture, like you're marrying yourself to some other capture because it's comfortable for you, mm-hmm. then you're not doing the position a service, right?
Yeah.
And so the point is this, like what I'm saying is it's not just you need to move faster, back to the puzzle
mm-hmm.
4, it's that every one of these positions, I think you're a strong enough player to quickly recognize within reason what you're playing for. Like you kind of know pretty quickly, am I playing for a draw or win? You kind of know pretty quickly, okay, this is a mating net puzzle. Okay, this one there's a lot of captures. I'm obviously going to need to push myself to consider more than one way of thinking. Mm-hmm. And so it's not going to be that easy that it happens in 2 seconds or having like a coach on your shoulder. But what I'm challenging you to do is this. Mm-hmm. Once you recognize the key idea, get to the mustard faster. Like you're not considering the most forcing moves or the moves that work for that position as fast as you probably could. And I think mm-hmm. that there are usually more alarm signs in the position that you first recognize than you realize, and it's just like push yourself a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna really try to put this to use in the next puzzle.